Warning: Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander viewers are warned that the following program contains images, references to, and voices of deceased persons. Viewer discretion is advised. AFL Northern Territory thanks the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, the ABC, for allowing us to broadcast this game. This broadcast may not be reproduced by any means without the express permission of the ABC as the rights holder.
Coming from the vault today, 1989 rep game, NTFL and Essendon. I reckon if you go back in history, not a lot of players were playing in the VFL, AFL now as it is. Probably Morris, and I think Morris might have retired by then, but Michael McLean was playing. So yeah, it wasn't scripted or anything. So we just had to wait and see what would happen in the draft. So, and yet there wasn't too many who'd been drafted from the NT. So it was quite a challenge for anyone who was making it back then. Yeah, well, you always wanted to play in those Australia Day games as they were, because the best players in the territory, you wanted to play alongside them. You look forward to playing those games because it was to test the territory, because it was we never really had any chance to play against any other states or VFL and AFL sides was on that day. So we all aspired to play in those games, and you run out in front of your local crowd. It was something to be proud of, the NT sides. And probably a lot of those sides didn't really know a lot of the local comp and the players here. And if you go back in time now with a lot of the players, the fathers of the young kids that are running around the AFL now, so we had some great players. I reckon if we did have a state side back then, we could have had a lot more players playing in the VFL and AFL. So, those days playing in those Australia Day games was something you really wanted to be a part of or play alongside, because you played with teams you played against here, you knew, so that we had that camaraderie, either we were related or family. So it's something you really wanted to be a part of, and we always had success every time, because I think it was closer to our heart because we played in front of the home crowd. Yeah, it was. It's special because you represented the territory, and played with 7 of my brothers in the St Mary's side, and it's quite special to put on a NT Guernsey and represent the Darwin or territory back then, and it's something that you cherish when you look back over time and what you did at that moment with those players who were at their prime, and they were great players, and I'm thankful because I learnt a lot from those players, playing alongside them, playing against them. That's how you learn your craft, and probably sharing that moment with your brothers is quite significant. I know my old man would have been pretty proud, watching their sons run around and playing for the territory. Yeah, well, Bruno was always a strong leader. He always he's one of those players you'd select or you wanted on your side. That was that type of player he was. Even in obviously at St Mary's, he was a very strong leader, led from the front, and he did the same as what he did in the territory games. And he'd been at that level and played at that level. He played in Perth, so and when the big games came, that he knew he'd had that experience. So having that leadership was a bonus for everyone, not just for me or the brothers. It was for everyone. So, and he was quite a bit of a protector of the players too, which you need in your side back then, because it was rough and tumble as the footy was back then to what it is now. So you needed that in every side you played with. Well, I suppose when sides come up here, we're smack bang in the middle of our season, so we knew we'd be faster and fitter and quicker. And I think the territory style, we've always relied on our skill and pace once the ball hits the ground. I suppose one of the physical aspects of bigger sides and sides like Essendon that day, that try and attack us physically, and I think when that incident did happen with Dennis, I know it would have revved up the whole team. We're not going to let that happen to one of our players, regardless of how big you are. So I think the spirits would have just lifted anyway because of that incident. Yeah, having that amount of crowd, it's like a grand final. It is sort of like our grand final here anyway, and to play against one of the best sides, it's a great feeling, home crowd. 99% of the crowd's all barracking for the territory. It's those moments at footy you cherish because of you're playing in front of your home crowd. I know a lot of the players these days like coming back and playing here. If we do get AFL matches, they love coming and playing their home crowd, and we love to see them here too. But those days are just you played alongside players that you have cherished with, because you talk about it later on. Like till today, we're lucky that the Bicentennial Carnival, the guys were inducted last year. And those sides that we play with are just incredible players. The players in their time and moment, that showed on the football field.
Welcome to Gardens Oval in Darwin for the big Australia Day Australian football clash. The Essendon Bombers up against the NTFL Buffaloes. As you just saw in those recorded highlights, the first match between both these sides 3 years ago produced an absolute beauty, with the Buffaloes getting up to win by 19 points. It's got all the ingredients once again of being another good game of football. Dave McKeon, my co-commentator, how do you see it?
Well, intriguing factors to take notice of course, the tall timber of the Essendon side in Salmon and Madden and Barnes, and a marvellous goal-to-goal line, starting with Terry Danaher at fullback and finishing with Salmon at full forward. As far as the territory is concerned, perhaps the youngsters, their speedsters in Stokes and Briston and Rioli, are going to find the ball on the ground a lot, and in these slippery conditions it could be in their favour.
The ground in immaculate condition, a crowd of around 7,500 people. Sit back and relax and enjoy Australian football at its very best. Players out in the middle of the ground. The rain has abated for the time being, and the crowd is a little bit restless. They're waiting to get this game underway. Umpires out in the middle, they're shaking hands, and players just about in position. And what a game this promises to be. Just having a look at the players that really could cause some problems for both sides. For the Bombers, Salmon, Watson, Danaher and Harvey. And for the Buffaloes, Michael Long, Ninny Briston, Dennis Dunn and Alan Jakovic. They're going to play a big part, Dave McKeon.
Madden already in the ruck. He was named at centre half forward, but he's been swung straight in from the opening bounce, and he'll be against the St Mary's star in Greg Hodson. Madden, 301 games. Umpire Cedric Serrati shows the ball to the big crowd and bounces the start of the NTFL Essendon match. It's Madden against Hodson. It comes to ground. Johnson is there. He can't take the ball. It's finally picked up in an attempt by Brian Long. He's brought to ground. Scrambly play. Brian Long again gets a first kick of the match. Left foot down to the half-forward flank. And a lovely mark taken by Vagana. Down to the forward pocket looking for the leading Jakovic. Dennis Dunn is number 12 leading the race for the ball, and is Chris Danaher. He's brought heavily to the ground and awarded the free kick. And Chris Danaher will take the free kick and a 15-metre penalty. He charges away from these defenders right down to the wing position, and Hodgson, 6'4" of the big man, on the right boot, back down to the half-forward flank. High, no one can take the mark, and here comes Briston. The speedster from 45 metres out, an open goal. Terry Danaher over his hit Jakovic, but it hits the post.
Well, a great start to this game by the Buffaloes. They're in an attacking position at this stage. And it's Terry Danaher. What a great player he's been for the Bombers over the years. Up it goes, and a good mark to Kieran Spawn. Plays on straight away, and here's a chance for the Bombers to get out of trouble. Straight up here to Johnston, who takes the mark. Won't play on. There's a few too many players around. They're right in front of us in this commentary position. Up it goes towards centre half forward. Up they fly. Motlop gets their hands to it. It's loose on the ground, but it's Somerville there, punches it straight forward. They've got the numbers, the Buffaloes. That's Berto over the top to Michael Long. Unfortunate bounce though for Long. It goes out of bounds in the forward pocket for the Bombers, and we've gone about a minute and a half, the first term of the big Australia Day clash.
Madden and Hodson. Madden a tap down to his rover, but looking for Mark Harvey running past. It eludes Harvey and be thrown in once more. That's about 45 metres round from the Bombers' goal. Little tap in the back, and that was against Peter Somerville, the son of former Essendon number 19 in John Somerville, and Hodson takes the free kick, but chipping in nicely is Darren Buick. The umpire elects to call play on, right into the teeth of goals. There's the fish in Paul Salmon, unattended, take the mark, and assured of an easy goal to put the Bombers in front.
Salmon is only about 10 metres out, virtually at point blank range, should not miss. And we've gone 3 minutes into this first term of this big match. And it's Salmon. In he comes now. The goal umpire watches it go through. That's the first goal on the board. That's the first goal of the match. Paul Salmon slots it through for the Bombers. So that's one straight goal to Essendon, to one behind for the NTFL. Field umpires today for this match, Ron Thompson and Cedric Serrati. Thompson coming from Victoria and Serrati a local umpire, and it's Thompson with the ball, and down it goes. And there's been an infringement, and where's the kick going to go? It's going to go to Hodson for the Buffs. Downfield, McGann might have got these, got the sides, he's pushed in the back, it's play on though. There's a chance for Chris Long. Out it goes to Ninny Briston. Boot to ball right down to almost full forward, but the Bombers have the numbers. Timmy Watson brilliantly pirouettes around over the top to Danaher. Danaher gets out of trouble, and the Bombers doing it easily to Rogers. Rogers upfield. Ooh, that's a heavy blow there. That's Andrew Johnson, who took a hard one in the back, and it's on already.
Russell Jeffrey, a former St Kilda player, against Somerville, number 42. Nothing really big in it, just a lot of hugging.
And now, in fact, it's Paul Simon Madden who's come into it. That was a very harsh blow indeed. Andrew Johnson looks all right. He's got the ball. Mark Motlop on the mark.
And Dennis Dunn in the background, out cold in the forward pocket.
Let's catch up with the action. The big fly from behind. No chance. It's loose on the ground. Look at Ninny Briston. He's been right in this game right from the word go, but the umpire has called a stop to this. Well, it's all exploded at the 5-minute mark of this first term.
Infringement against Brentley Hughes right in front of the main grandstand here, and Dennis Dunn has got to his feet. He looks a bit groggy. Brentley Hughes with the ball. On him is Kieran Spawn. Hughes looking inbound. Is he off? Oh, it's playing cat and mouse. A hand pass across to Bruce. Right down to the centre half forward, and in front is McGann, a big leap from behind, but comes to ground. Finally picked up by Watson. A lovely hand pass across to Harvey. Harvey looking for movement on the wing position, and up high is Somerville. He can't take a mark. Russell Jeffrey right onto the ball, down to the half forward. McGann in there again. Umpire spider free kick, and that's against McGann, and goes to Andrew Rogers of the Essendon club. Rogers with the ball, looking inboard to a teammate in Underwood. Underwood goes to the outer side. Right in the wing position, and in there is Dean Wallace for Essendon. Was he playing on? The umpire Serrati said, no, yes you are now, son. Off goes Wallace, streaming down centre, looking for Salmon, leading 40 yards out from full forward. Oh, good work, Paul Salmon. Damien Berto, the best fullback in the league in the territory. But Salmon too fast, too tall, too strong. Paul Salmon from 40 metres out. Angle no problem, no wind. Straight through the centre. Salmon second. Essendon 2 goals. NTFL 1 behind.
A good start to the Bombers at this stage. And I'm just trying to pick up Dennis Dunn. I'm wondering where he is or whether he's been taken off, David. In fact, it's Kevin Qualla. I think it's on the field now for Dennis Dunn. Six minutes gone in the first term, and down it goes by Serrati. Up they fly. Hodson unable to get that one. It's pumped out of there by Kane for the Bombers. In front was Moore. It's well tapped on though by the NTFL's vice captain and Teddy Liddy. But here's a good chance now for the Bombers. That's Kane again, drives it down towards Salmon, who was well spoilt that time by Birdo, unable to get that one. And well brought out by Bruce, right down to the centre of the ground. That's almost a good mark as it's been played. It has been played. The crowd don't like it. There's going to be play on, and that's a poor kick. But the Bombers, Lux of Fortune, Timmy Watson, good handball over the top of Strickland. Strickland plays on straight away, and a good safe mark by Harvey, who centres the ball. It's not a very good kick. And the NTFL take it easy in defence to Stokes. Stokes goes wide to Motlop. Motlop pirouettes around, easy as you like, upfield. Good strong defence though by Underwood, who makes sure the ball does go out of bounds on the Garden side. And we've gone 8 minutes, and it's Essendon leading 2 straight goals, 12 to the NTFL's 1 behind.
Essendon throwing everything into the game, and it's number 8 in Darren Buick, who marks on the half-forward flank, 40 metres out, no movement from the forward pocket area, so he goes long for goal. Drives it right down to the teeth. Somerville's number 42, he can't take the mark, and they all come to ground. Chipping in nicely for Essendon is Manning. He's brought to ground by Bruno Long, and a lovely tackle too by the Territory defence in Bruce and Long, and Manning caught with the ball. Bruno Long, the captain of the Territory side, a hand pass inboard to Damien Burdo, who has come out from full back. Burdo from the wing position. McGann from behind too, trying to set himself. All up high was Madden. He couldn't take it for Gaynor onto the right boot. Leading out is Jakovic against Danaher. Danaher in front. He's pushed in the back. The umpire says play on. Chris Long from 30 metres. No, the umpire's called it back. In the back it was to Terry Danaher. A yard in front of Jakovic, and Danaher gets the free kick and relieve the pressure for the Bombers. 10 minutes first quarter, Essendon in front and doing it well.
It's going to go back to Danaher. Terry Danaher, the fullback for the Bombers. To clear it, he'll go right to the centre of the ground. Michael Long is out there, but he's out positioned, in fact, by Gavin Kane, who's had a ton of possession so far. We're with Timmy Watson, the outer side of the ground. He's got all the time in the world. He's operating directions down there, looking upfield. Off hands, that was Spawn in there trying to get it. Salmon's trying in there as well. But Serrati, the umpire, says, come on, fellas, give it to me. There's a bit of a mess there.
Against Berto for in the back.
In fact, it's a free kick. That'll be Buick, who's going to line them up from about 35 metres out. Well, what a start for the Bombers.
And Territory's defence just getting a little anxious there.
And he comes now. He'll kick, in fact, from about 30 out, directly in front. Goal umpire watches it sail over his head, as is Paul Salmon. That's another goal on the board, 3 straight to the Bombers. 10 minutes gone, first term.
Umpire Thompson with the ball. 10 minutes, 12 minutes now, first quarter. Bombers 3 goals to Territory 1 behind. They're going to have to counteract the brilliance of Gavin Kane in ruck rover. In comes number 3 and Stephen Stokes, who's bustled loose possession. It finally comes out to Grenvold. No positive possession now. Grenvold again picking up one-hander. He's caught with the ball. Finally gets a kick in, and Salmon a bit awkward on the ground. Burdo in there using his body well. Liddy across to Bruno Long. Streaming out of defence, the Territory's player. All right, it was Vagona who couldn't take the mark. Mark Mutlop over to Noel Long, right down the outer wing now, and coming up is Chris Long from the forward pocket area. Waste no time and running down to the centre half forward. Jakovic made a 30-metre drive, but there's McGann holding his position at centre half forward, and Peter McGann takes his first kick of the match. He's 53 metres out, dead in front, and it looks good. McGann's first, the Territory's first. That's 3 goals to 1 in favour of Essendon. 13 minutes first quarter.
By Thompson, down it goes. Up they fly. Madden that time doesn't get the tap down. In fact, it's Hodson, a good punch down towards centre half forward. Here's a chance for Chris Long over to Noley Long. Good play by the Buffaloes. Up it goes towards the forward pocket position. Charging out there is Jakovic, unable to get it, and it will be out of bounds. Forward pocket for the Buffs. We've gone 13 minutes in the first term, and 3 straight goals to the Bombers. 18 plays 7. They're up there now. McGann goes up, well brought out by Watson. Goes down to the centre of the ground, all on his own, is Bruno Long. Hasn't got too many options. No one making a positive lead. Kevin Quoll does, but he's decided to go the other side of the ground. It might have been just dropping the ball. In fact, it was. Good decision by the umpire, and that free kick will go to Ninny Briston. The half-forward line for the Buffaloes. Dave, getting a little bit dark over there. I can see the city side. One wonders how far away that rain is. We haven't had any so far, and we've gone 14 and a half minutes first term.
It's pretty wet underfoot though. They've had a couple of hours before the game started. Noel Long from the half-forward flank position looking for the leading McGann. His ball punched away from him by Rogers, and they're cleared out of defence by Essendon. He read that well, and finally it's a Burke that comes out of defence. Greg Bruce alone for the Territory, right in the centre of the ground ahead of John Barnes. And a 15-metre penalty, and Barnes was suggested by the umpire Serrato, dealt a little too heavily with him. Meanwhile, Bruce carries on with a kick over to Long, back to Bruce, streaming down, and a little clip behind the head too by Barnes, or was it Andrews, and it'd be downfield. Bruce dealt with after he disposed of the ball, and Alan Jakovic with his first touch of the match, the full forward for the Territory Rep side, just 25 metres out, dead in front.
In he comes now, Jakovic. His first real shot at goal. Shouldn't be too many problems. The goal umpire says that's okay. Up go the fingers, and that's Jakovic's first on the board. That's 2 goals for the Buffaloes. Up they fly. It's a good bounce on a shed that time. Bruno Long comes in. It's a brilliant tap forward. Good vision by Bruno Long. Michael Long, let's see what brilliance he has. Well smothered there by the defender for the Bombers. But Michael Long, what brilliance. Gets away from 2, 3. Pumps it downfield to Tony Vergona. Oh, brilliant football, Michael Long. That's why he made the All-Australian side last year. Now Vergona. Qual goes one way. Vergona decides to pump it straight down and hope for the best. Up they fly, but that's Danaher in the way. Good strong work by the Essendon backline. In fact, that's Danaher over there who's taken the mark. He plays on straight away. That could prove very costly. Minnie Briston pirouettes around. 15 metres out. Is it a goal? Yes, sir. That's a beauty. They take the lead at the 16-minute mark, first term.
The ball 20 metres round from the Bombers' goal.
And we've gone about a minute into time on first term. And it's 3-1-19 to the NTFL, 3-1-19 to the Bombers. And it's brought right across the goal. Here's a chance for Barnes to do something. In there goes Stokes, though. He's got a little bit more speed. And the Bombers with a chance to do something here. They've got the numbers. Brilliantly done there by Spawn for the Bombers, but no one able to take any ascendancy. And in fact, it'll be the Buffaloes who will bring this ball out. And it goes down towards Nolly. Long over the top. Timmy Watson once, twice, play on. Underneath Spawn. Out they come again. That's Stokes who's done a pile of work so far, but it's brought back by Johnston. Up they fly. What's it going to be? It's going to be a mark to the big man himself.
Unfortunate
Salmon.
for Stokes there. He did all the good work, but his tap went straight to Johnson, and Johnson found Salmon 20 metres out.
You shouldn't miss this one, Dave. There's not too much of a breeze to talk about, and I think you'll have a good shot at this goal. We'll see how it goes. We'll follow it and see what happens here. He'll kick from about 35, maybe 40 metres out. In he comes. Let's watch this one. Off the boot. He might have just missed that one. Let's wait and see. No, he hasn't. He's just got it through. It's wet underfoot as we go out to Mark Motlop. Half forward flank for the Bombers, who brings it out of defence and over the top. Good strong mark for Chrissy Long. Plays on down to centre half forward. Who's got his eyes on this one over the top at the back? Is it going to be a mark? It's going to be play on. Linney, will he score? 30 metres out, should do so. Yes, sir, that's a great goal for Brisbane. Well, it's all soccer at the moment, but it manages to get out there to Teddy Liddy, who plays on. And a good pass over to Greg Bruce, who's done a fair bit of work so far. Drives it downfield. And Nolly Long all on his own. Oh, that's a little mistake there. And he's going to prove costly, because a good, strong mark taken by the Bombers by Paul Salmon right on the siren. That is the siren for the first quarter, but Salmon is going to take the kick for goal. And it's 4-1-25 at the moment to 4-1-25, all even, as the rain has started to come down, slowly but surely. Picture of concentration. Salmon. Will this be number 4? It's high and long, and I think it's all right.
Territory footy from the Vault is thanks to these valued partners.
We understand that a trip in the Territory can take a little longer than a trip down south. So we'll make sure your car is insured whether you're driving it or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Yep, you get the picture. And we get it too, because we're here too. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. We're for Territorians and their mates.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital, television production, energised.
On the run, turns around, has a look upfield. Jakovic, yes, good mark, and a little bit of attention in the end too by Terry Danaher. I don't think it'll be a 15-metre penalty. They're still going on with it. Good, strong lead by Jakovic and well taken. He's got a in fact, that is a 15-metre penalty. A little bit of attention afterwards. This is a fairly acute angle, to say the least. I don't think you can see too much daylight between the posts. This will be very handy indeed. This will even it up again, and we've only gone about 90 seconds in the second term. In he comes. How's that look from here? They're clapping, that's a beauty, right from the sideline. Great goal by Alan Jakovic.
Madden back into the ruck against Hodgson. Another square infringement, this time against Essendon, and it'll be taken by Hodgson in the centre of the ground. Mark Hodgson, formerly from the West Torrens club, right down to centre half forward. No one up for the Territory side. It comes to ground, a lovely tap on by McGann across to Chris Long from 35 metres. Chris, you put him in front. All players throwing everything into it now. Enthralling football. Hodgson the tap down. Johnson finding Watson. Watson to Madden. Madden tapping onto Buick. He's bundled out of the way. Good pick up by Hodgson from a tall player. Hughes bursting from defence, driving down the centre half forward. Lovely play by Narkle. Narkle finding Long coming down from the half forward flank, and there's the man of the moment again. Chris Long taking the mark well within kicking distance, just 35 metres out. A slight angle. The wind just favouring now the Territory's end. Chris Long. Umpire just moving slightly to his left, but it looks good.
Birdo, the fullback for the Buffs, brings it out. And that's going to pay off because Brentley Hughes takes the mark. Centre wing position, grandstand side, straight over the centre. And intercepted by the Bombers. Off they go, Rogers. Downfield, Watson takes it easily, plays on. It's a little bit casual. That could not pay off because that was a little bit too casual. Bad work, Timmy Watson. Now here's a chance. Bruno Long. How many possessions has he had so far? Noel Long. The lead is by Chris Long. That's ignored. It's going to Vigona. Thank you. Tony Vigona takes the mark. McGann and Jakovic. Which one will it be? Jakovic being held. Will he take the mark? He's positioned himself well. Up they go. Good strong defence in the end by Danaher. Is it going to be a free kick? Well, it is going to be a free kick. Jakovic right on the sideline. And this is as hard a goal as he's had in the match so far. And he's already posted 2. Let's see how he goes with this goal.
recruited from Port Hedland in 1988 to play for the Southern District side in the top end league, leading goal kicker with 86 goals, lining up for his third for the match from 35 metres out. Alan Jakovic could be just offline to the left though, and through for just one behind. Essendon 5-1, trailing NTFL 7 goals 2. We're 7 minutes into this second quarter.
And it's play on. Cabillo drives forward. Kevin Quall, thank you. And look at the plays. Bruno Long and Brentley Hughes all on their own. They've got about 5 metres to run in 10 metres. Nice handball to Hughes. This is a brilliant passage of play. Right downfield. Could be intercepted. No, they've spoiled each other. Jakovic over the shoulder. Has he got it? No, offline. Well, that's a goal. No, it's not. It's a goal. It's a beauty. Come on, Jakovic. That's a great goal.
Bruno Long's going to be caught. He's caught with the ball. The umpire, yes, he's awarded a free kick against him, and will go to the youngest player from the Essendon side, in 18-year-old Johnson. Johnson in turn a hand pass across back to Wallace from the half back. Madden drops another mark. It's picked up by Kane. Kane looking for Buick. Teddy Liddy spoils well. In there, Salmon. He's caught with the ball. The umpire says play on, and in fact caught when disposed of the ball, and Salmon will be awarded the free kick for holding. He's 40 metres out within kicking distance, lining up for number 5.
Well, I don't know how they worked that one out, but he's got the free kick. It seemed like a fair and legitimate tackle by Birdo, but it's Salmon. And this is a much-needed goal, to say the least, as far as the Bombers are concerned. Big Salmon. He's already put 4 through.
Brian Long off the ground with a sore leg. Willie Riowi on.
Okay, let's follow this kick. Salmon. I tell you what, that's all right. That's straight through the big sticks. And that's number 5 for Paul Salmon.
Hodgson with the ball. The giant ruckman from the Territory drives it down the centre half forward. They're slipping over. McGann saw it better than anyone else. Peter McGann playing at centre half forward. Too far out. Looking for Jakovic. It gives it everything he's got, too much, and it comes off the side of his boot. The diving player
almost Kevin Quall, almost
Quall
a great
couldn't
mark.
take the mark. Somerville over the top of him. It's picked up by Strickland. Strickland's brought to the ground, and to be a free kick awarded against Strickland for holding the ball, and go to Eddie Cabillo. Much to Buick's disgust, and much to the crowd's delight.
I'm sure the crowd, Dave, would be nice and happy at the moment, because if we look at the scoreboard, 16-minute mark, second term, the Buffaloes 8-3-51 and the Bombers 6-3-39. Cabillo. Concentration. The drop punt. His teammates seem to think that's all right, and it is. That's another goal on the board, and they increase their lead. 16 minutes gone, second term. Slipping and sliding. Harvey, good strong bump by Berto. Berto up from fullback. It's play on. Oh, good mark. That's Kevin Quall. Thrown to the ground by Buick. But the Buffaloes in possession and 40 metres out. Let's see what happens.
And good play by Michael Long to feed Quall with the ball. He's lining up for a deliberate shot at goal. They're down 20 points, Essendon. Quall going for his first major of the match. It's got the distance, and he's made the accuracy okay, and he's put NTFL up for another goal. They move to 10 goals, 5, Essendon 6-3. Light rain still falling at Gardens.
Jakovic, he's got the lead. Has he got the mark over the top? And that's a safe mark because it wasn't touched. Was not touched by Underwood. So Jakovic, who's already kicked 3, got every opportunity in the world to make this number 4, and that's the siren for half-time. Well, as was the case in the first quarter, where Paul Salmon marked it just before the siren. He had a shot after the siren. Same thing again. Jakovic. That is through the big sticks. That's another goal on the board. Good strong work by Alan Jakovic. That's number 4 for Alan Jakovic. So what a quarter for the Buffaloes. And they can come off the ground at half-time feeling, well, very happy indeed. And here we go to start the third term in this Australia Day Australian football clash at Gardens Oval. 71 to the Buffaloes, 39 to the Bombers. Let's catch up with the action. Buffaloes get it straight out of defence down to Kevin. Quoll goes for the mark, unable to get it. He's marking Motlop. Beautiful vision by Motlop. Straight onto Peter McGann. What a great start. That was great vision there by Mark Motlop. Saw McGann was unattended about 25 metres away. Beautiful little chip pass across. What a start this would be. McGann. Well, there you go. The crowd reaction tells the story. Great start, third term for the Buffaloes.
Or Somerville up high, gets a tap down, but no one in particular. Chrissy Long taps it down, finally picked up by Spawn. Spawn, a lovely hand pass over to a running teammate who drives it down, looking for Salmon coming out from the forward pocket area. Slipping over is Johnson, who gets a hand pass to Salmon, and Salmon still controlling the ball. Kicks it off the ground, but smothered straight away from Teddy Liddy. Chris Long's there, but it was off the boot. The umpire called play on. In there's Briston. He's got too much speed than anyone else on the ground. Briston driving down a centre half forward. Quall couldn't take the mark. Danaher spoils and follows the ball down. It's no long on the ground. It's kicked off the ground. Grenvold, number 17. Oh, he's dealt with heavily, but the umpire calls play on. Rogers with the ball. He twists and turns. In fact, it was Underwood. He gets a hand pass back to a teammate off the side. It comes on grandstand side, centre wing position. Leading in the race for the ball, the Essendon player in Rogers. He gets a hand pass across to Spawn. Spawn finding Strickland running down ground. Strickland to Buick. He's got inside to Watson, but he elects to go to Strickland, who's followed it down, looking for Salmon from the forward pocket area. Salmon can't take the ball's getting greasy. Gavin Kane from 20 metres out, dead in front, and he's got it. Gavin Kane reading the play well, took the crumbs off Salmon, and Essendon kicked their 7th goal. At 12-5 NTFL, Essendon 7 goals, 3. We're 3 minutes third term.
David, very important stage to say the least as far as Essendon is concerned. You mentioned before that in their previous match 3 years ago, they outscored the Buffaloes in the second half of that game.
And in that game, they trailed by 26 points at half-time. Today, they trailed by 32 points, and have a look at that. How ridiculous does that make you feel when the fullback kicks it straight out to the man on the mark? And that's Danaher with hands on hips, and Jakovic, the man with the ball. Well. Now he's got a golden opportunity, but off the side of his boot. That's how slippery the conditions are getting, and silly mistakes being made. Essendon should have burst out of those dressing rooms after half-time, full of inspiration, urged on by Sheedy to get some pride back and get on with this game, and they're not doing that. Both sides making mistakes in the early stage of this third quarter. It comes to ground. The umpire calls play on. Jakovic is trying to get his own crumbs there. Strickland's number 29 picks it up cleanly. A whole herd of Buffaloes there on the half-back line, but the ball eludes them all in front of the Tiger Brennan stand, and it'll be thrown in. In ruck, it's Somerville with McGann now doing the ruck work. He gets a shove in the back. The umpire didn't see it. Picked up by Grenvold it was. He gets a hard knock from Quall. Strickland though to Watson. Watson felt it coming from his back and taps it out, and the umpire called play on. Centre wing position, grandstand side.
And the boundary umpire to bring the ball in. We've gone about 8 minutes into this third term. The Buffaloes doing it easy at the moment, 78 to the Bombers of 45. You catch up with the action. That's Flood on the ground there trying to skittle it out for the Bombers. It's a good hand pass over to Harvey. Harvey on the left boot to no one in particular. In comes Motlop. In fact, that was Teddy Liddy off the ground by Michael Long, but it should favour Essendon, and Burke gets the boot to it. Everyone's showing their soccer skills, Palais style out there at the moment, but I can tell you that it's very slippery underneath because we've had a fair bit of rain in Darwin this afternoon. It's abated at the moment, and it comes over the top was Harvey. Able to do it, but here's a chance for Hughes to break out, and that's Willie Rioli in the middle. Beautiful hand pass on. Here's a chance for Cabillo to drive it downfield. Good mark by McGann. They're combining well. Chris Long screaming for the ball on his own. And it's going to Jakovic. Has he taken the mark? He has. Good strong mark in front of Paul Hamilton. Well, Jakovic is absolutely cutting them to pieces at the moment. I'd say this is his second or third player on him so far. This has been the furthest he's been out for a while. In he comes. Will the wind bring it around? I think it will. That's a great goal. And that is number 5 on the board for Alan Jakovic. And Strickland all on his own on the left boot. It's a shocking pass. They're going to have to improve that part of their game. Danaher completely marked, and here goes the Buffaloes again. Cabillo, left boot, down to Quall, over his head. Loose on the ground. a chance through front for the Bombers to get out of a bit of a trouble.
It's called a throw. He palmed it away, and that's against Grenvold for the throw. Good umpiring, Sarati picked up well on the screen, and Jakovic with the ball, the man of the moment.
Jakovic can do no wrong. Everything he touches turns to gold. Will this be number 6? Good game so far. It's a good high drop punt. Straight through the big sticks again. Jakovic on fire at Gardens Oval. He's leading the way for the Buffaloes. Down in the middle of the ground, and up goes Somerville. That time gets the tap down through legs. And a chance for Peter Burke to do something for the Bombers. Scrimmage of players kicked off the ground by John Barnes. Now here's a chance for the Bombers. It should be a goal. Buick over the top of Salmon. Point blank, yes. Easy as you like. Good strong work. Straight from the bounce of the ball. Great goal. That's what they needed, the Bombers.
In the ruck again, it'll be Somerville, this time against Dempsey. Somerville gets the bounce and a lovely tap down to Harvey, who's had one of his few kicks. Harvey looking for a teammate in Burke, and Burke on the half-forward flank position looking for the leading Salmon. And over Salmon's head, though, and read well by a player in Underwood. And in fact, it's Gavin Kane, who was one of the stars for Essendon in the first half, particularly in that first quarter when he gave Michael Long a bath. So Underwood from just 20 metres out, Kane from 20 metres out, and puts it through for Essendon's 9th goal. They need these goals, they need them quick. 9-3-57 Essendon, NTFL 14-7-91.
14 minutes gone, third term. Up it goes. Timmy Watson gets that tap through, and it goes down to Johnston, who overruns the ball. Little Willie Rioli brilliantly trying to get out of that, but well taken in the end. Driven down to Harvey, who does take the mark a little bit awkwardly. It's play on. Dempsey Narkle, a good tap through it, all out on his own is Marky Motlop. What can he do here? There's no one at around 10 metres. Little chip forward for, who's that player out there? I think it's Tony Vigona who's taken the mark. It's Vigona right out there in the forward pocket. He'll line him up about 40 metres out. If he kicks this one, he's earned his pay, that's for sure. In he comes. Let's watch the goal umpire. It's going right across the face of goal. Somerville goes up, but it's through for a behind. 92 plays 57. 15 minutes gone in the third term.
Terry Danaher with the ball, begging his players to give him some movement on that half-back line. And he goes long. Ball from behind Harvey. It was his all the way.
He's lifted his game too, David.
He needed to, as Harvey now plays on around McGann and finds a teammate in Grenvold on the wing ahead of Hughes. Grenvold anxious to get on with the game as he drives it in the half-forward flag. Up high was Barnes. He couldn't take the mark. In there was Buick. It comes to the ground and finally picked up by Bruno Long, who's back after injury in that second quarter. And Noel Long getting the crumbs well. He's across to his brother in Chris Long, driving right down to the teeth of goal. Jakovic with a set. Oh, he drops it. He could have marked that setter. Tapped along by the Essendon defender. Oh, Jakovic recovered well. He dodged that punch. Picked up by ball from 30 metres. You can see it on camera. The ball's come down, lovely scooped by Long, and he finds Hughes in the wing position. He was off. Oh, he was off, and Essendon unlucky to get that one called by the umpires. Hughes this time comes round. McGann overruns the ball and is taken by Hamilton, has one of his few touches, been given a bath in this game from centre half back, and have a look at that sort of disposal. Is finally picked up by the player in Gavin Kane. Gavin Kane looks for Strickland. Again, he's caught with the ball. They're looking slow now. Essendon dragged Watson. Watson in turn across to a teammate in Moore. Moore looking for the running Salmon. That's the only focal point they've got in the forward line. Salmon taps it on, but there's too many Buffalo defenders there. It comes to ground. It's Liddy. Liddy in turn to Hughes again. Has come down from the wing. Hughes drives it down to the centre ground. Chris Long all alone ahead of Hamilton and gets a bump. No 15-metre penalty. Chris Long with the ball. Centre ground. Jakovic leads, he ignores that, then he goes wide looking for Vigona with a leap from behind. He gets the tap, it comes to ground. Underwood clearing for the Bombers, but again poor disposal, straight into the hands of Long, off his chest. Paul won't even bother, right in front of the grandstand, and Essendon making too many mistakes. Time on third term, and Bombers are going to be struggling in these slippery conditions. Too much to make up, I'd think, even with 25 minutes at least of play to come. It's finally picked up by Essendon player. Watson is grabbed. Umpire says play on. Mark Motlop's there, finally picked up by Eddie Cabillo, and Mark Motlop stood on top of Watson, and Watson with the free kick centre wing position.
Let's catch up with the action. That's Harvey over the top to Buick. They've got a chance to do something. Good lead here by Salmon. Takes them. No, he doesn't take them. Well, he should have taken that. And a Greg Bruce towering torpedo punch, centre wing position, but it's all the Bombers. What can they do here? That's Terry Danaher, goes towards the outer side. It's Underwood, a little chip pass over the top to Harvey. Harvey, 40 metres out, should go for goal. In the goal square is Spawn. And it's touched, so it'll be behind. Good work by Birdo.
Territory footy from the vault is thanks to these valued partners.
We understand that a trip in the Territory can take a little longer than a trip down south. So we'll make sure your car is insured whether you're driving it or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Or you, or someone else. Yep, you get the picture. And we get it too, because we're here too. TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance. We're for Territorians and their mates.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better, and I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Consider the applicable PDS before making an investment decision.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energised.
There's the siren to start the final term. It's 99 points to the Buffaloes. The Bombers 58. And it's Madden once again in the ruck, who falls over to Buick, but gets the tap down. Buick punches it up to centre half forward. It's lackadaisical play, but look at that brilliant work there by Cabillo, who gets it out of defence to Nolly Long, and a well taken by Wallace. Straight in front of us, Michael Long has done a great deal of work today, been instrumental in this top performance by the Buffaloes, sees it out of bounds. And we've only gone 60 seconds of the final term. But a lot of work to be done by the Bombers if they're to come home with a charge and try and steal victory. We'll have to wait and see as it's Underwood. Hand pass over the top. They can't hold the ball. That's Grenvold, who gets a hand pass over the top. The two more, who thumps it down towards centre half forward. But look at that, the Buffaloes all there in defence. Hand pass over the top to Watson. Watson, a clever little pass to Buick. Buick will line him up from 35 metres out. Offline. Not good enough. No chance of winning the game. Shots like that. Well, all the time in the world to settle and to put that one through. 15-9-99 plays 9-5. 59, and we've gone about 2.5 minutes final turn.
Greg Bruce elects to go on the outer side now. It comes to ground, and Salmon gets the kick the ball. He recovers well, picks it up in one hand and looks inboard. Look, Buick again. He gets a tap over looking for Watson, but the tap was astray. It's Liddy again with Birdo. Hodgson, big man on the ground. He's jumped on too by Strickland, but the umpire says play on. Noel Long reading the race. Oh, it was good shepherding too by his brother Michael Long. Jakovic off his chest and his knee, and be thrown in 35 metres round from the NTFL's goal.
Dennis Dunn back on the field too, Dave.
Well, with Essendon trailing by 41 points at three-quarter time, they must attack and minimise their mistakes, and that's hard to do when you only have to think that NTFL have to play defensive football to come out winners yet again. As the ball comes to ground, as Grenvold was just about to burst out of the pack. Thompson had already blown the whistle, and it's on the half-forward flank for the Territory side. McGann, number 10 in ruck, doing battle against Madden, who's come back onto the ground after having a rest in that third quarter. He looks a little out of touch, but he gets that touch across to Harvey. Harvey onto his right boot, centre wing position. Hodgson with the mark. He's read that well, being stood by Barnes. Greg Hodgson down to half forward, looking for McGann, but from behind, Madden. 301 league games for the star ruckman. Liken him to the likes of Farmer, perhaps Nichols. Only 19 short of Essendon's club record set by Dick Reynolds back in the 1950s, and Madden finds a teammate in the centre of the ground through Strickland. Strickland's got to get on with the game. Down to centre half forward. Barnes gets a ride on Hodgson. Can't take the mark. Burke chipping in nicely. He's got plenty of speed and he's a bulky character, and he finds a teammate alone in Gavin Kane right in the goal square, and Kane makes no mistake putting his third one through for the match. Essendon move along to 10-5, 65. NTFL 15-9, 99. 4 minutes last quarter.
Hodgson up against Madden. Madden that time gets the tap down and pushed forward by Hughes. Watson with the ball that time. Now here's a chance for Underwood to bring it out of defence. And that's a good, strong pass downfield for Burke. Burke takes it. Who's asking for the ball? Is it Harvey? Harvey has it. 40 metres out, but that's way offline. Will he get through for a behind? Hits the post. Hits the point post on the full. So Damien Burdo to bring it in. Well, the Buffaloes drives it. All of 50 metres of drop punt up. They five. Simon Madden, the big punch forward. Here's Burke once again. It's loose on the ground. Look at the Buffaloes there. There's three of them there. They should be able to do something with this. Nolly long up and over. Tried a little bit of tricky stuff. Didn't come off though, and flying through almost. Collected Stephen Stokes. Was Wallace, but it's loose on the ground. Good smother by Wallace in the long run. Good tough play, and that ball is out of bounds.
Still enthralling stuff as we're six minutes now into the final quarter. Hodgson and Madden. It comes down to Spawn, number 9. He lets his teammate go through, who's been caught. It was a lovely tackle by Eddie Cabillo on Gavin Kane, and Cabillo with the ball. Waste no time in playing on, looking for McGann, who's been a top player for the NTFL side. Watson's in there again. He's done well for Essendon. It finally picked up by McGann. It had to go in and burrow himself in and come out with the ball. Jakovic can't take the mark. Over the top was a teammate in Dennis Dunn, who infringed on the Essendon defender, and it'll be Chris Danaher, who goes across goal looking for number 29 in Strickland, and Strickland will clear out a defence for Essendon. Strickland down on the half-back flank. Kane grabbed his head and infringed. The umpire says that was too high. Madden was caught, but the umpire had signalled time on, and Kane with the ball on the half-back line. He takes all the 15 metres as he drives it down to the centre of the ground. Underwood can't take the mark. In there is Noel Long, who's had a great game. Noel Long, a hand pass across to Teddy Liddy on the half-back line. Liddy better than Spawn, and Liddy looking for his teammate in Michael Long. Michael Long in the centre wing position down to the half-forward flank, but this Essendon defender in Grenvold comes to ground. In there too is Quall appealing for the free kick. In fact, NTFL will be awarded the free kick, and it's going to Quall on the half-forward line. Quall, McGann and Vagona there, and to finish up Dennis Dunn taking the ball at the back of the pack. Untouched, there's the umpire, and he finishes up with his chest. A beautiful kick for goal as Dennis Dunn. He had a heavy knock in the first quarter. He missed the seconds and third. Now he's back here. He looks fine to me, and he's lining up from 35 metres out. The angle acute, but Dennis Dunn, knowing this ground so well, it shouldn't trouble him too much. Dunn. The distance is there just off the side of his boot, remembering that ball's still a little slippery. NTFL 15-10, 100. Essendon 10-5, 65.
Oh, that ball must be slippery. No one's able to do anything with it. Here's Underwood. What can he do? Sweeping hand pass over the top to Kieran Spawn, who was well and truly nabbed at the last minute around the neck, in fact, and he'll take the free kick. Centre wing position on the garden side of the oval. Salmon absolutely screaming for the ball down here. Let's play on as he gets around his opponent in Stephen Stokes. Salmon up, no, unable to take it. Buick with the ball. Now this should be a goal. Who's got this one? That's an easy goal to Gavin Kane. Maybe all a little bit late, but a good goal to Gavin Kane. In fact, that's his 4th of the match. Here's a chance for Grenville to bring it in. Drives it to a centre wing position. Hodgson unable to take it. Buick. Beautiful little hand pass over the top. And the Bombers still in possession. It's a race for the ball between Jeffrey and Buick. Salmon trying to get it, but lacks a fortune. And a beautiful tackle by Russell Jeffrey. Thwarted any chance there of the Bombers to get a goal, but it's Hodgson in possession now. Up over the top, Wallace. Good spoil for the Bombers. Still a chance for them to do something. Jeffrey with possession of the ball. Front on with Wallace. Who won that? I'd say Wallace has come out the better for that because he's going to take the free kick. The crowd don't like it. Little chip pass and a diving Salmon has not taken the mark. And Bruce onto Michael Long. Michael Long, left boot over the centre of the ground. Up they fly. Chris Long wasn't able to take it. Danaher, the centre of the ground. It slowed down a fair bit. Strickland for the Bombers. They're well and truly marked down in the forward line. Slipping and sliding, and it goes Strickland through. Strickland still in possession. Well done on the left boot. Thumps it down towards Salmon over the top in the back. In fact, I think that should be. Or is it play on? It's a goal. It is a goal to Darren Buick of Essendon. That brings them back a little bit, but I think it might all be a little bit too late. Madden plays onto the centre of the ground. Good strong mark to Harvey. A good third term, but fairly quiet in this final term. Harvey takes it, shows the ball upfield. And his teammate takes it. Timmy Watson. Watson 40 metres out. His boot has gone longer than, but it's a goal anyway. Great goal to Timmy Watson. And I thought his boot was going to go with that one through the goal, but a great goal to Tim Watson. And here they go through Strickland. Looking for a man forward. Kane overrunning the ball, and it's loose on the ground. In fact, that's Kane still with it. That's Burke in there. The outer side of the ground in the forward pocket. It's brought back to the half-forward line. That's Brentley Hughes diving in there, trying to trap the ball, and the umpire will decide to come in. Umpire Sarati will decide he'll come in and bounce the ball and try and separate the mess over there. So all of a sudden, it's 15-11-101 to the NTFL. Essendon 13-5-83. And anybody really can score 3 goals in the space of, say, 5 or 6 minutes. That's not beyond them at all. It's down the half-forward line. That's Burke. Loose on the ground. That's Watson. Slams it back into the centre of the field. In fact, that's Timmy Watson. But Watson's got the ball about 35 metres out. It was Burke on the outer side of the ground that gave that ball to Watson, and Watson has taken the mark. I think he should go for the goal at this stage to get any leads. It's only about 35 metres out, and usually a good kick of the ball, Timmy Watson. And he kicked one, of course, a couple of minutes ago. This would make it very interesting indeed. In he comes. Oh, that could be very costly indeed because he's missed it. And that could just about be the ball game.
Well, Essendon 3 goals down. They've won games in worse positions than this, but then again they had 4 premiership points at stake as Brentley Hughes is taken off the ground with a knee and shoulder injury, and Bruno Long is back on the field for the NTFL side. They were trailing by 41 points at 3-quarter time and have kept NTFL goalless in this final quarter. As up high as Somerville in front. The umpire says play on. It comes to ground. Eddie Gabillo, number 13, picks it up nicely and finds Brian Long, who's just come onto the ground on the wing position. He'll waste no time in playing on. Centres the ball in the middle of the ground. Madden in front of Michael Long. It comes to ground. In there is Wallace. But Danaher tips it away. Then Harvey onto Spawn. Spawn driving down the half forward. Kane under it. Punched away beautifully by Teddy Liddy. A lovely pick up by Birdo. Liddy follows up and scoops it through. Was it a throw? No, it wasn't. Pushed through for a rush behind. Essendon 13-7-85. NTFL 15-11-101, and we're into time on. 4 minutes to go. We've been signalled by the timekeeper, and they've got to kick 3 good scoring shots, and they're in trouble, the Bombers. There's a flared by Birdo. Hodgson up high. Well, it comes to ground to Noel Long. They're on top of one another now. A negative sort of tap out by Madden, and NTFL recover well through Long. Long down the half forward. Dennis Dunn off his knee again. In there is Briston, and so too is Chris Danaher. Always dealt with heavily by Dennis Dunn. The umpire will throw it in 45 metres round from the NTFL's goal. I've just got to keep it up that end of the game, start playing defensive football, and it's theirs. We're right into time on, and 16 points the difference.
As it comes in, McGann gets the tap down to Dunn, who boots him from 55 metres out. What's going to happen here? It's going to be bounced forward, but it was taken over the line by Brendan Moore for the Bombers, so it's going to be thrown in about 5 or 6 metres around from the point post. Attacking position, though, for the Buffaloes, and they could just about sew it up because we're in time on in this final term. Again, that time gets it through. It's loose on the ground. That was Moore trying to get it out. Here's a chance for Underwood, who drives it down. Centre wing position this side. There's no one at all at home here for the Bombers. It's Hodson, easy as you like. Terrible pass, though, by Hodson, because that was Timmy Watson who intercepted Michael Long. Oh, great skills, Michael Long. Beautiful pass up the front to Dennis Dunn. He held it once but not paid. Recovers brilliantly. Might have been too high. It's play on, though. He's Buick for the Bombers. Takes a bounce. Has a look upfield. No one in particular. And what's happened? It's going to be a free kick. Buick remonstrating with the umpire. It doesn't matter. And you can hear the reaction by the crowd as Stokes drives it up to the half-forward flank. And a chance for Burke to bring it out. It's an up and under. Up they go on his... that was a Somerville who had his eye on that ball, but unable to bring it down. Buick off the ground. And here we go again. Hodson all on his own. It's a terrible pass, though. Won't be taken. Yes, it will be. Harvey will take the free kick, or will it be the mark? Probably the mark, I'd say. He's at the half-back line. Drives it toward the centre of the ground. Teddy Liddy in front. That's a good, strong mark by Teddy Liddy. Obviously, the ball a little bit slippery. What a defender he's been today.
Liddy finds Michael Long, who's been brilliant since quarter time. Just have to slow it down. Dennis Dunn leading. Long ignores him. And finds Vergona leading from the forward pocket. Grenvold taps it on, then gains possession. Driving it down to the half forward. Manning can't take the mark. Picked up beautifully, or attempted to at least, by Rioli. Finally, Narkle picks it up. A hand pass across to Burke. He's jumped on, and the umpire award a free kick. You can't jump on the player while he's on the ground, Cabillo. And Burke will take the free kick in the centre of the ground. 1 minute to go in this game, so Northern Territory Football League have kept their record intact as the Underwood has taken the free kick. And again, a shocking disposal with a hand pass. Good shepherding by Buick as Watson is allowed to drive down to the half-forward flank position. In there is Manning, but Hodson, good work by him as he picks it up, finds Michael Long again alone. Michael Long has a chance for a bounce, but he goes down the half-forward. Chris Long, he can't take the mark. In there is Nitty Briston, he balks once, then picked up by Stokes. Stokes in, balked and speed him again. The Barnes intercepts. He taps it on to Chris Danaher. Danaher attempted to tap it onto his brother. In there is Stokes, off the ground attempt by Noel Long. Danaher again, Terry across to Buick. He's more streamlined than his automobile's namesake, and Salmon spills the easiest mark in front of the big crowd here at Gardens Oval. And with just 30 seconds to go, NTFL 15-11, Essendon 13-7.
The NTFL keep their unbeaten record intact. That means now that they've won 5 in a row, dating back to 1985, that first Australia Day Australian football clash against Glenelg.
You always went out hard in the first half because we couldn't let teams get a head start of us. So, and then obviously, you know, that's the physical component of the side. A lot of the players were bigger than us, so you had to deal with the physical side as well as some of those players were quick. Even the taller players were quick, so it was quite competitive, you know. Even though it was our home ground, and you know, we're all only human too, so we all get drained as much as some of the players do. So, but you can play the game, you know. You think you've won it before you've actually played the game. So, I think there might have been a bit of that being our home advantage. But yeah, look, it's in the end, you know, we obviously prevailed. So it's something that you know, that no doubt the home crowd would have helped us get over the line. But it was always good to get to mingle and meet some of the other guys and coaches and players. Yeah, because I mean, we weren't household names like a lot of those players you played against, and whether it was the bicentennial or whether it was the games here, Australia. I mean, we weren't household names like a lot of the players that were playing for North Melbourne, or whether it was Port Adelaide or whether it was the Victorian Amateurs or Tassie, we played in the Bicentennial, we were really no one. And in a lot of ways, being the underdog was probably the best thing for us. So they didn't know who we were, but what we did have with those players that we played with, they were champion players in their own right, and you never underestimate your opponent.
Oh, well, I'm pleased with the day. I'm disappointed with the loss, but I feel that we haven't never let the people down up here when we've come up here. It's always been a close game, and another 5 minutes might have had a few of the grandstand people in tears,
It's going to be third time lucky. We're going to see Essendon up for a third time.
Could be a pretty interesting game.
Look forward to it.
Well, I think some of our younger guys would have got a lot out of it. And I think the next time, you've had your first 2 wins, we get another invite and you'll see a game and a half here, okay?
But I think Essendon came here 3 times. I think I played with Essendon the next time we came here. So Sheeds was all about promoting football. It's an Australian game, promoting football in the Territory. I think he's been a great friend of the Territory, actually helping us do that and develop that and giving players the opportunity to be seen and played against. So the carnivals have and the Australia Day games have been an enormous opportunity for our local kids and players who've gone on to, like Andrew McLeod and Darryl White and others who've come from that, who played in the carnivals as well. So for us to have AFL sides to come here and play against the local sides, what a great opportunity. You don't get that too often. And I know we're playing next year. We don't know who we're playing, but what a great opportunity for our kids to be exposed to a national side. Simon Madden and I think Timmy was still playing then. They love the fish. I think we had a barbecue with all the players. They love the fish and all that, but they love the lifestyle. Coming up here and getting away and seeing the locals and some of the clinics they ran and but just having the team here. It put NT on the map. This is what happened here in those times, and we didn't play in all of them, but in those times there's other players who benefited out of it.
Look at the scoreboard, and it was 3 goals, I think, with about 5 or 6 minutes to go, and all of a sudden they had a chance of doing something. Were you worried then?
Yeah, I did get a little bit worried because we were running out of legs, and a lot of our players have put in such a great effort in the first 3 quarters that it was starting to tell a little bit, and we started to fiddle around with the ball a little bit too much on our forward line and let them in a bit. And I was a little worried there, but they had enough to pull it out. We had a lead.
Kevin Sheedy said maybe third time lucky. He's prepared to come up again. What do you say to that?
He can come up again if he likes. I don't mind. They can bring them all up. It's great. It's great for football. It's great for the public. They see a good game of footy, and certainly great for our young fellas. A lot of our young blokes really came of age today. Like blokes like young Quoll, and he played a great game, I thought, when he got on. And Willie Rioli, Stephen Stokes. They haven't played before, and that was tremendous to see.
Well, I think we strive to actually wanted to play in that game because you represented your state, and that's something you'd want to do everything right and be aiming for, as well as playing good footy for your local team. And what a great honour it is to represent your territory, to put on that jumper and play in front of your home crowd. It's an honour, so it's something special, and it'll be something you'll remember, and it'll be something that you'll love playing in your home territory, in front of your home crowd, in front of your family, your friends. I treasure a lot of that stuff because those guys, we still chat today about moments we shared in games, and it'd be no different for any family. There's a lot of local families that I played alongside it with, in a lot of those matches, the Motlops and Cleans and Morris, my brother-in-law, and Nick Athanasia, you had Uncle Kev Wanganeen, he played in the Bicentennial. There's a lot of families that are either related or married into. That's why it was special, and there's still a lot of families playing today, and to remember that stuff, and it's still there today. It's something, you want others to share in that moment and what you did in that time, and I'd be doing everything to want to play for the Territory come January next year.